to edit. We're talking about
Okay.
God. You
Really?
can't edit.
Okay.
This is a foreigner living in the Philippines. I'm trying to get through a massive confusion about such things as God. Now, my resident expert on God.
I'm not expert.
Well, yes you are.
I'm not.
Well, of course you are. Well, my reluctant expert on God. As you know, I don't quite believe in the same way that you do, but I believe in a creator. But can you explain how you see God?
No, this is just the way I grew up. I grew up with Nanay, with my father, with my other siblings. That growing up in a Christian and born again Christians, believing that God is above. God is great. God is wonderful, and He owns everything, and He's so powerful. So wonderful, and that's I believe it.
But when you think of God, what do you think of? I mean, I know that I always make fun, not horribly, okay. I make fun by saying that I can't think of God as looking like the grandfather in the Waltons. If you're able to show your age and remember that that program, that's right. So do you think of them as this benign old man with a long white beard or long hair like the movies with Moses?
No, I think this is the way I look at it. He's the guy. He is a God of possible and impossible things. And there are some movies that he wear whites and it's lightning. Right? And so but He's a God, and He owns everything. He is the powerful, and that's how I look at it. He's a best friend. He's a God that whatever you want to say, you can say. When you cry, you can cry to Him.
Well, where is He?
He's in our heart.
So your viewpoint.
Oh, it's so difficult.
Your viewpoint is not so different to mine, because I always say to you that I don't go. You ask why I don't go to church. And I say that I don't need to go to church because God is within.
Yeah,
I believe in God, the God within.
Yeah, but it's in the Bible that you should go to church with other people. So that
Are
you
you
mingle.
sure it's in the Bible?
Yeah, you should mingle with the people and praise God together. With clapping, with singing, with dancing gracefully.
I think I remember that. It doesn't say anything about dancing though, does it?
Yeah, but when you're happy, you dance like that. Not like that, but in a way that is proper. Okay, not like in the outside, but
not pole dancing.
no, just a way that you express your.
I'm only saying that because you said dancing. So, where does that end? I mean,
You're only simple dancing, you want. So
listen. When I first came out of the army, I worked in the Eve Club, and the Eve Club had a dancer who did the dance of the seven veils. Do you think that she'd do that in church?
I don't know. No, you just sing praises to the Lord, because it's one way of saying thank you, and thank you for your goodness in our lives, because every day is a blessing. You wake up every day, you can breathe. There are some people that can't breathe anymore, and there are also some people that need ears.
They're the ones that are dead, the one that can't breathe.
There are some people that in the hospital are paying the ears. What is air? Yeah, the air. Yeah, they're in oxygen.
Yeah, right. The oxygen air.
Yeah. So again, every day you should be thankful to God. When you wake up, you should pray. Because sometimes I didn't saw you praying, you just stand up right away.
Honey, sincerely, when I wake up in the morning and I look over and I see you, I am thankful beyond words.
You said thank you for the light. Don't look at me. Thank you for the
Why
light,
would I
Lord.
not look at you? What's not?
Don't be silly, David.
What's not? I'm not. But I'm not being silly. If you're going to be grateful about something, what are you going to? If you're going to be grateful, you have to be grateful about something. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm so grateful today." You have to. What's the reason? Wouldn't anybody say to you, "Why? What happened?"
You know, I mean, because what I mean is, before you wake when you
Before you wake up.
before you get up, before you get up, you pray, thank you, Lord, for the new life, for another day that you give us. Okay?
But who says how you're supposed to pray?
No, we just learn it, you know?
Oh, well, who says that? I mean, if I look on the movies, every time on the movies, if a kid prays, they always get down by their bed and they lean on the covers and they say, and they put their hands like this, and,
Yeah, well,
and that's how they pray. Am I supposed to do that?
you just close your eyes, you know, and then pray. You learn it from church, and you learn it from Bibles or reading some biblical, you know.
But I probably know the Bible better than you do.
Yeah, I know. There's no argument about that. I'm not into Bibles.
She's not into the.
I'm not the same with others that really read Bibles. You know, bit by whole Bibles. They know where they found that passage.
Passage.
Yeah. Passage.
So that they can. So they can give. Yeah, passage. So they can give the
reference. For example, there's some argument or there's a reference about that.
Somebody
I don't have that.
Somebody quoted the Bible to me today. Or was it last night? Last night, I think I read it, and because I didn't accept something that he'd said, he quoted the Bible. He said, "Well, the Bible says if you teach a wise man something, then the wise man will accept it and become even wiser." So, and this is what I find that people do with the Bible. If you disagree with them, they'll say, you see what happens? Now, if you were a wise man, and I was telling you something like I am, which is right because I'm telling you, then you would be wiser. So you're refusing it, so obviously you're not a wise man, are you?
Yeah, and then another thing is because we do some videos about falsely wife accused, right? We do that.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then you says about bending. Just to clarify things is,
Right.
I made a discount. I know he's not a senior citizen, but we have a designate. We have some designate that if you really some employees discount, relatives
Well,
or
Beth is not giving you any background.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched that, that particular video, she was the recipient of a very kind deed when she had no money and she was on the jeepney. Now, usually she used to get on a jeepney carefully where there was no conductor, and then she was skipped without paying.
yeah, and then
But anyway, let me finish.
yeah, okay.
And on this particular day, she suddenly realized that the wife of the jeepney driver was acting as conductor, so she wasn't going to be able to get away. So, the first person that she asked was a young woman who said, "No way, I'm not giving you any money." And then an older man was sitting there and he heard what happened, and when she looked at him, he said, have you really left your wallet at home, or is it that you just don't have the money? Tell me the truth. And Beth told him the truth and said, I don't have it. And he gave her 50 pesos, and she said, well, she was going to give him the change from the conductor, but he said, I want you to keep the change, and I want you to buy some food, because she told him, I'm a working student and I don't get very much. Now, 50 pesos was a quarter of her monthly allowance. So it was a huge amount back then. Now, somebody, apart from anything, somebody said, oh, the last time I was in the Philippines, there were no conductors on the jeepneys.
I think there are some areas that there's no conductor. Even in the city, there are some jeepney driver that prefer they don't have conductors because they
have to pay them.
Yeah, they're going to share the income.
Right. So
but
obviously this woman went up and down the street that didn't have any conductors on it, and so she said, "Well, I doubt the authenticity of her story."
Yeah, there's some conductors, and there are some also ship that there's no conductor.
Right.
Okay.
Most of the ones that I've been on have conductors who tout for business. Every time they reach a place where there's a few people there, they tout for, hey, come on, get on. Okay, so that was the case there. That was a little aside. But then, when it came to later, the punchline of the story was that years and years later, Beth worked in the billing department of a big hospital, and this man arrived to pay the bill for his sick wife. Beth had the authority, in her judgment, to give discounts, and she gave this man a discount. Now, when I was asking questions, because I was behind the camera, I said to us, oh, so you bent the rules and you gave him thing. Now, in normal Western speak, this wouldn't have raised any great alarms, but the one man said, oh, so did I hear you right? You bent the rules to enable this man to cheat your employer. You evil woman.
That's it.
Right. So we then we got the Bible. We got the Bible, chapter and verse, about who did what and don't do this and don't do that. What happened was that Beth was in a position to decide if someone was worthy of a discount. And she had the authority with the agreement of her employers. And she did that in her judgment. The man was standing there looking at the horrendous bill, wondering obviously how he was going to pay it. And she gave the man a discount.
Yeah,
and
because
then of course part of the story was...
Yeah, because that's a holiday and then we're only the duty that time. But our superior says once it's holiday that it's up to us on how we decide, on with regards to promissory note, it's our judgment, or some discounted, no need to call her. So that's how it runs up. So I think it's a kind of, maybe it's what they call it, bending. I don't know what you call that.
No, don't use that word. He'll be back on his Bible again.
Yeah, but let's put this way. It's a kind that I'm just in the time that I want to return the favor, and I think it's the best thing for me to do is to give a discount. I know it's not I give 20% discount that is appropriate for the senior citizens discount, but also I give that way as my dependent discount, because as an employee there is a dependent discount, and that's what I use for that man's wife,
So put your Bible away.
Yeah, but again, thank you for the concern.
There's nothing wrong. Yes.
Thank you for the concern.
Nothing was wrong. But Beth wasn't cheating her employers of thousands of pesos, okay? So this is the kind of thing that we sometimes get, and that's why I thought we could talk briefly about God, because what we're discussing here in looking at what one's perception of God is very important, because Beth and I are married and we have like agreements about things, about what is right and what is wrong. And that's based on our belief system. Quite how we believe is down to us, but then isn't it down to everyone like that? Don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. But it's I know that people have different beliefs. Different way to look at God, to look at life. How they viewed on it. But it's just a matter of doing things which is right and doing things that glorify His name. And do the right things. And by doing that, and whatever you do, make sure that at the end of the day, it brings glory to His name.
In other words, you don't associate the thought of God
Yeah.
with doing bad stuff.
Yeah, because things, life is here in the world. There's a lot of temptations. There's a lot of things that will sweep you to other side. But that's why we always be careful and always ask for guidance on everything we do, so that we will not go in the wrong direction. And always put God in the center of everything. Okay? So don't worry, he's almost convert soon. He's almost convert, he's starting now.
Excuse me, can I get a word in?
Wait, he's starting now, he's starting believing bit by bit. So before he arrives 130 years old, he's a born again Christian, okay?
I don't think so. But I did want to do one thing.
Yeah, he's a good man.
Now, please don't mess my wig up, okay? Somebody already said, why have you got so much hair? And I used to do this little trick, which for kids always horrifies them.
A wig.
Anyway,
And he's a bird,
I've got
is a wig.
a confession to make.
What?
You won't be mad.
No.
We're on camera. You won't be mad.
I can eat it.
Promise?
Blood.
Promise you won't be mad.
What?
I had an extra chocolate this morning.
And then?
Well, I ate it.
Oh, thank you, Sir Garcia, for the chocolate. I'm sure that to the kids and Nana and other kids here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And you know something? John, you don't have to buy those expensive chocolates. You could just buy Cadbury's. Because they get wolfed down so quickly that it really is above our taste buds to have such expensive chocolate.
Yeah, the kid says, oh, it's our first time that we eat this kind of chocolate. And he said, yes, be thankful, okay? And he said, yeah.
Yeah.
And they put the name in they know their name now, and every time in the morning, sometimes I caught them talking, when is the next chocolate from Sir Garcia? And I said to them, come on, don't be over. Don't over.
So you're, Sir Garcia, you are immortalized in the minds of these two children as Sir Garcia and chocolate.
Yeah.
That's not such a bad association, is it?
Yeah, it's the thing that Sir Garcia gonna send them every week chocolate.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Don't take it serious, okay? At least they taste what are the different chocolates,
Yes,
Thank you.
that was classy chocolate.
Yeah, very delicious.
But anyway, these are not discussions about chocolate, they're discussions about God. Chocolate is next to godliness, isn't that the way?
Cleanliness.
Oh, it's cleanliness. I'm just paraphrasing, okay? Don't hold it against me. So, are we done here?
Yeah. So
That's wonderful, isn't it? Perhaps next, what's the next video? We could discuss the world. Won't we discuss God today? And we put that to, well, we've handled that wonderfully. This is great. By the end of the week, we could have everything sorted out.
yeah. So just to add on.
If we do the world tomorrow.
But the planet next day.
Then the planets. But what do you think about the planets?
I don't know. Come on. So again, thank you. Please like, comment, and share. And this man is starting to born again now. Okay. So come on, don't talk.
But
Don't talk. He will convert, okay?
Well,
Yeah, God is good. Thank you very much. Please like,
you've been
comment, and
saved.
subscribe.
You've been saved by the low battery, okay?
Bye
This is a
bye.